Let's talk about Lagos, Nigeria. The city is just buzzing with this incredible entrepreneurial energy. I mean, they call it Silicon Lagoon for a reason, right? That drive to create, to innovate, to build the next big thing, it's literally everywhere. But here's the thing. Underneath all that amazing energy is a really tough reality where, let's be honest, a lot of startups just don't make it. But the good news? So many of those failures are totally avoidable, and that's exactly what we're going to get into right now.
So you've got the dream, right? Innovation, limitless energy, maybe even chasing that unicorn status. But the reality is often more like a crucible. It's a place where a super high failure rate forges founders through some really harsh lessons. The key here, though, is that so many of these fatal mistakes are completely avoidable. And that's what we're here to break down today.
All right, so the first set of mistakes, they happen right at the very beginning. Think of them like foundational cracks, the kind that can bring the whole building down before you've even laid the first brick. This is mistake number one, and it is a big one, the build it and they will come fallacy. So many founders fall head over heels in love with their brilliant idea. You know, maybe it's a slick new app for luxury pet services or another food delivery platform, without ever stopping to ask the most important question. Will anyone actually need this? Will people pay for it? Now, this is where the Lego-specific lesson really hits home. The founders who make it, they aren't just brainstorming in some air-conditioned office. No way. They're out there. They're in the markets at Balagan. They're in the estates in Lekki. They're actually talking to real people and understanding their real-world problems before they even think about building anything. And you know, this leads directly into the very next trap. It's so easy to get seduced by the glamour of venture capital. It makes founders spend all their precious time perfecting pitch decks and chasing investors, while the most important things, their actual product and their paying customers, get completely ignored. So here's the bottom line, the thing you have to remember. Investors follow traction. They don't just follow ideas. The real Lagos lesson is to focus on getting paying customers first. You have to prove you can solve a real need and actually make money doing it. Funding? That should be rocket fuel for a business that's already working, not a lifeline for one that's sinking. Okay, so let's move to the next phase. Let's say you've got an idea, you've even got a few customers. This is when the operational traps start to appear, and this is where a lack of discipline with your money and your growth can absolutely cripple you. The pressure to scale and grow fast is just immense. But trying to expand a business that isn't profitable on a small scale, that is a recipe for disaster. I mean, in a city like Lagos, something as simple as the city's crazy traffic can completely destroy your cost model for logistics if you haven't nailed it down first. And this chart just illustrates the problem perfectly. You see founders burning through cash on marketing and hiring just to create this illusion of growth, while the core business is actually losing money on every single sale. The smart way to do it? Prove your model works profitably in one small area, say one local government area, before you even think about trying to take over the whole city. Okay, this one is huge in Lagos. Terrible financial governance. It's the classic mixing of pots, where the business revenue gets treated like a personal ATM. This just leads to constant cash flow crises and makes it totally impossible to know if your business is even healthy. Seriously, financial discipline is a superpower here. This mindset is especially dangerous when it comes to rules and regulations. Kicking the can down the road on compliance because you think, oh, we'll deal with that later when we have more money, that is a critical mistake that will almost certainly come back to bite you.
Look, being legitimate isn't just about avoiding massive fines or getting shut down. It's about building a real, solid company. Dealing with bodies like the CAC, that's the Corporate Affairs Commission, and LARS, the Lagos Tax Authority, from day one, yeah, it gives you peace of mind. But believe it or not, it actually opens up way more doors for opportunities than it closes.
So, we've covered the ideas and the operations, but often the most fatal flaws are human. Yep, mistakes in leadership, in building your team, and even just in taking care of yourself can be the final nail in the coffin. This is the classic one-man show. The entire business is built around the founder. Every single decision flows through them. But what happens when that founder gets sick or just needs a break? The whole operation just stops dead in its tracks. That's why building systems, not just relying on your personality, is absolutely crucial for survival. It's so tempting to hire your friends, your family, or just the first person who seems available. But hiring for convenience instead of competence creates massive problems down the line. Let me tell you, a small, highly skilled team that can actually solve problems will always outperform a large, unqualified one. Every time. And finally, we have to talk about the founder themselves. The Lagos hustle culture glorifies grinding 24/7, but ignoring your own mental and physical health, that just leads to burnout and really bad decisions. You have to be resilient enough to play the long game.
So, after looking at all these traps, what's the solution? What's the way forward? It's really all about shifting your mindset. It's about building a real business with a blueprint for survival, not just riding some chaotic wave of energy.
And this slide right here really just sums it all up. A hustle is driven by chaos and personality, and frankly, it's often short-term. A real business, on the other hand, is built on structure and systems, which is what makes it sustainable. The founders who truly win in Lagos are the ones who make this leap.
Ultimately, the most important lesson from the crucible that is Lagos is this: build a business, not just a hustle. Discipline, structure, and a relentless focus on your customer. Those are the things that will turn this city's incredible challenges into your greatest advantage. Your startup survival depends on it.